Hello, did you miss me? Financial Madness is back for 2025, where we look at all things personal finance. Today we are looking at salary sacrifice and how it works from a non-pension benefits perspective, such as company cars and health insurance, as well as other types of benefits too. Let us understand how they work and if it's worth getting one. I'm Kozan from Financial Madness, helping you be better with your money. Salary sacrifice is a simple yet powerful financial strategy which is government-backed, where you agree with your employer to reduce your gross salary in exchange for a non-cash benefit. While this is often associated with pension benefits, as we have discussed previously on this channel, did you know you can enjoy a whole range of other perks as well under the salary sacrifice scheme? The reason why an individual would want to do this is because the benefits chosen will not be subject to income or national insurance tax. Therefore, a person's taxable salary will be reduced. So what kind of benefits are available? Here are some examples of non-pension benefits that you may be able to take advantage of through the salary sacrifice scheme. You have childcare vouchers. This arrangement works by having the employee give up part of their salary in exchange for having the sacrificed amount pay for childcare vouchers or having it directly pay a childcare provider. You have cycle to work schemes. The scheme tends to work by allowing the employer to pay for the full cost of the bicycle or any cycling equipment. And the employees then pay this money back via salary sacrifice over a set period of time, typically 1 to 2 years. Leasing company cars or ultra low emission cars. This scheme tends to work by selecting a car for your employer's approved list of vehicles and agreeing to pay for the lease of the car by reducing your gross salary by a set amount each month. And there are so many other potential benefits that your employer may also provide you, including health insurance, gym memberships, personal and technical development courses, and many more. Be sure to speak to your employer to see what's on offer, as it will differ from company to company. So how does it work? Let's put some numbers on the table and see a real life example. Using the example from loveelectrics.cars, let's say an individual, Simon, earns £40,000 per year, which puts them in the 20% tax bracket. He is using a typical lease example of 48 months and 5,000 annual miles for a Fiat 500. Now, just a side note, I am using a car lease in this example, but you could exchange this with any other of the benefits that I've mentioned previously, and the tax principles will still be the same. So going back to the example, Simon's electric car lease quote comes to £366 per month. That's £4,392 per year. However, the cost to Simon via salary sacrifice comes to only £255 per month, and that is £3,060 per year. Now that becomes a saving of £1,300, which is very significant. So how does it work? Now this is best explained if we look at Simon's payslip before and after he enters the salary sacrifice scheme. Before salary sacrifice, Simon's taxable income was £3,333 per month, of which £761 was taken from national insurance and income tax, which makes his take-home pay £2,572. After enrolling in salary sacrifice, Simon's taxable income is now £366 less than before, bringing his new gross income to £2,967. As you can see, the amount of national insurance and income tax does reduce to £644, but he also has to pay an additional tax called benefits in kind of £6. So just for some background, this big tax gets added to employees' paycheck to pay for certain non-cash benefits provided by employers. So in this case, the car lease is eligible for big tax, but this isn't always the case. So always check with your employer. So totaling all this up, this brings their total tax deductions to £650, which brings their new take-home pay to £2,317. So what this actually means is, although the car lease costs £366 per month, because of the savings made via tax, this actually costs them £255 per month in their take-home pay. And this brings me on nicely into the main advantages of using salary sacrifice. And the first one is, of course, that the employees will have their income and national insurance tax contributions reduced. And that subsequently means that they make a significant cost saving on certain benefits. As I've just shown in the car example before, a car lease that charges £366 per month only costs the employee £255 per month due to tax savings. Now that isn't to say it doesn't come with its disadvantages too. Therefore, I would urge you to do your research carefully and seek out financial advice if needed. Now, the obvious main disadvantage is that the employee's take-home pay is of course reduced because they are paying for an additional service. But I would argue that if the service is something that you need or want and you would have paid for outside of the salary sacrifice scheme, so when considering that, salary sacrifice will typically be a cheaper option. So this isn't really a con depending on the benefit that you are getting and what it means to you. Another con is that it will impact your ability to borrow money, as this is typically based on your salary. And salary that is sacrificed is no longer considered part of your gross income. So effectively, having a lower salary means you can borrow less or at a non-favorable rate. There can also be an impact on certain benefits like sick and redundancy pay, as these are also attributed to your gross income. So how do you set up salary sacrifice? So this is typically a very straightforward process as it is handled by your employer. You typically have to reach out to their payroll team or HR department to get the ball rolling. Make sure to understand the specific terms and conditions and consider consulting with a financial advisor to ensure it is the right choice for your financial situation. Cool, so that is it for this week's video. Have you enrolled in one of these schemes? It would be great to hear your experience in the comment section down below. And remember to like and subscribe. Bye. Pow.